provision that lawyers are just going to love because it lets someone sue if they think that they didn't get a job because they're unemployed. My next guest says the bill should be renamed the Plaintiff's Lawyers Full Employment Bill. Republican Representative from Texas, Louie Gohmert, joins us now. Congressman Gohmert, thanks so much for coming in. So
it's great to be with you, Dave. Thank you.
Who put this? I mean, obviously the lawyers are going to love this. They probably are all for this provision, but this just makes it even more difficult for employers to hire people, right?
Oh, it absolutely does. I mean, well, and to think about the unemployed. This means that if any unemployed person who doesn't get hired may be able to go after the employer that didn't hire them, then the employers are not going to go out and interview unemployed people. They'll look for people that are already employed to avoid going out there and advertising so people sue them.
So
it's
something
really going to hurt
that
the
is
unemployed. Yeah.
Something that is meant to protect the unemployed may end up hurting them more. It's a typical perverse incentive when the government comes in. But it also...
And I guarantee you there'll be lawyers that advise their company clients, don't advertise this or you're going to be asking for claims to be filed against you.
That's a great point. That's a great point. And it creates a new minority, if you will, a brand new minority called the unemployed, right?
I'm sure we'd all agree, as the Constitution does, on race, creed, color, gender, national origin. You know, of course, in Congress we've added who you have sex with. It makes you a protected class. This adds unemployed as a protected class. My heart goes out to unemployed. I've had jobs fairs. I want to help them. This doesn't help them. And not only that, we screw around the states that are in such trouble now, too. The last provision of that section says the states waive their right to sovereign immunity against being sued by unemployed people. So you can sue the states also as a result of this president's bill.
This is a legal mess. It's just a total legal mess. And again, it stigmatizes people. Rather than helping people, it stigmatizes people by calling them minority. By the way, my wife is Hispanic. She says, I'm not a minority. There's nothing minor about me. And she's joking, but at the same time, it does stigmatize people to put them in a new minor class.
It does. And we want to help them get jobs. We want to create jobs. But here again, it's the same hypocrisy as the president say he's going after his friends at British Petroleum and Exxon and all those. And if you look at what he does to the petroleum industry, he is going to make so much more profit for the major oil companies because he's got 3 pages of provisions that will put independent operators who drill over 94% of all the wells on land in the United States. They'll put them out of business. They won't be able to drill. So it'll help the major oil companies. So say one thing like you're a fat cat, but I'm gonna help you make more money than ever.
You bring up a great point, which once again, the special interests, whether they're the large corporations or the lawyers as a lobby group working hand in glove with this administration in order to get special provisions in that screw the little guy, that screw the mid-size and little-size guy. By the way, there's something else that was sneaked into this jobs bill, the American Infrastructure Financing Authority. Now, just the name of it is scary enough. It sounds like something Orwellian, but what is that? First, I thought it was the infrastructure bank, but it's in a way more than that, right?
Oh, yeah. It's basically, in a nutshell, it's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac combined together, exponentially expanded, and put on steroids. Because, you know, those deal with housing costs and financing. Now we're talking about the biggest infrastructure projects in America, and the government setting up a new entity like Fannie or Freddie to deal with that financing. And don't worry, though, the president is going to help pick the board of directors. It's going to be a great thing. It's going to really do good for America, or at least for the president's friends it will, too.
Right, just like he picked the board at the he picked the board at the NLRB that's trying to force Boeing out of South Carolina.
Well, there's another board in there he gets to pick. You know, the FCC is getting upset because more people are going from airways to broadband, and they never got the fairness doctrine through. Well, guess what? We have the Public Safety Broadband Corporation The president picks the board of directors, and they're going to help you in your home, in your business,
Sure they are.
in your studio. They're going to help you regulate exactly what you're doing and saying. It's a great thing for those that love government.
I can't wait just to have another piece of big government looking over my shoulder telling me what to do.
David, I'd be remiss if I didn't say a big shout out. Thank you to the president. He's out there encouraging people as we speak to support and pass the American Jobs Act. The only one on file is mine, and I want to say a big rosy red thank you to the president for his help in trying to get people to pass the American Jobs Act, the only one on file at this time.
We should mention there is no bill other than the one that Louie Gohmert has put out there. So
and
that is,
you
hear a lot about the president's bill. The president doesn't have a bill. Louie Gohmert does. Congressman, great to see you. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Well, House Speaker John Boehner touting his jobs plan today, but does